Hello, everybody. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas. I think you're going to find this a real interesting video today. Another Hailey Dunn, but it's also going to talk about the underground homes here and how that may be connected to Hailey Dunn and the cover up and everything's going on. What I'm showing here is a picture of Hailey taken 2 days before she was reported missing. I know that. I found it online, and I know that because of the date here at the bottom. In the middle is her mom, Billy Dunn, and then this was the boyfriend. This is Sean, and you know, he was widely blamed, you know, in the public, and but never arrested. None of the dozen, witnesses I documented said that he was there, and I think that's why he was never been arrested, and he's claimed to be, innocent in Hailey's murder. But one reason I want to take this picture, show you how young she is, because you're going to hear in a minute, how it said that she was being pimped out and kidnapped, and so we're going to talk about this, and it really started. There's a private investigator that works for Clint Dunn. Clint Dunn is the father of Hailey, okay? And then this private investigator's name's Erica Morse, and she posted on my YouTube channel this morning. That's what gave me the idea. That's a real rude comment. I'm gonna show you that here in a minute. We're gonna go over that and should. There's multiple times that I've seen this woman defame my character in the publicly defame my character, smear my name, and I believe it's in it's an attempt to try to discredit the dozen people that I've documented on the Hailey Dunn. So anyway, let's just get started. I'm gonna name this one Midland Underground Sex Parties. As I said, this is a theory that I believe ties back into Hailey Dunn and trying to put it all together, okay? And so I've got a big, long write-up right here, and I'm not going to just read that whole thing to you. The one video I did, that was on Facebook we're looking at right now, was underground swinger parties and silly pills. And what you're looking at here is on the internet. You can look that up. I think it's CBS or one of the big news out networks does a story about kindergarten age children turned into house of horrors. And it's a story of a swingers group in East Texas, Mineola, I think in 2004, somewhere around there. And they were drugging little kindergarten age children. They were having sex with them, in a windowless room. And I had asked if the East Texas swingers, because I was East Texas, were friends or knew the West Texas swingers, and maybe that was happening underground in the windowless, underground homes here, And so anyway, that's that video. But that's another video you can go look, about the silly pills. So I'm just going to start. I got comment after comment here and from above, and this is going to how we lay it out. And and then like I normally do, I'm going to read the little write up, and then I'm going to show you this piece of evidence, that piece of evidence, that piece of evidence. Okay. And I'm going to start here. It says Erica Morse, a Hailey Dunn private investigator, has been working for Clint Dunn, the father of Hailey, just posted on my YouTube channel under the video called "Hailey Dunn Witness is Now Dead." That was the video she posted under, and it's a new video, and I've wondered why she attacked me with those old lies, and so then I copied and pasted what she wrote a week ago, and she wrote under my video, she said, "Do not believe a word this man says." She was talking about me, and she went on to say he is mentally disturbed and has no concrete information on the Hailey Dunn case. And keep on mind, I'm the victim of a capital attempted murder, and harassing the victim is against the law. So she broke the law right there. And I even wrote back and told her she needs to rethink what you're doing, because you might just end up in prison if you're trying to cover up capital murders or capital attempted murders by smearing my name in the public. Okay? And then today, an hour ago, she posted it wasn't to me, it was another person, Fast Forward, because Fast Forwarded wrote on my new channel, was going, well, he's got all this evidence, and she wrote, shut up and stop interfering in my case, dipshit. And that's what I'm saying. That's how rude and hateful this Erica Morse is. Erica is a private investigator who's been working for Clint Dunn, the father of Hailey. As you can see from her personal attacks against me, that something is very fishy. There's no way that she can be so stupid, into saying I'm mentally disturbed. Them are old lies that no longer work. Okay. And so the first link on that first comment was Hailey Dunn witness is now dead. Okay. And so here's a video I just did a week ago, and that's what she is posting under. And I'm just going to play just a bit of it here. It's about Raina Brott, and hopefully you can hear this okay. I'm not going to play much.
Going to be is information that has never been publicly released. I've had this for a long time. A woman, Melissa Raina Campbell, we're looking at her obituary right now, had contacted me on private messenger, and she told me she believed that Hailey was killed at her home on Cloudcroft Street in Odessa with a just huge amount of details. Okay, she told me there on that phone call that she felt like her life was in danger, and now she's dead. And so this is a huge story with Hailey Dunn and a lot of information, but this one basically is what Melissa Raina Campbell Brott told me, and because she didn't want me to release the information, but
so this is in that video, we're not going to go over it, of course, is all the communications from me and Raina Brott, and it is names and places and where she was buried. Hailey was buried, and as it said, that she says several times that her life was in total jeopardy. 6 months later, Raina was dead. When I didn't find out till she's dead until a year later or whatever, just within a week or so ago. I went and looked her up and found out, oh, she died. And I remember she told me how afraid she was. And I had sent what she had wrote me to the Midland Chief of Police, Seth Herman, and he thanked me, and then he blocked my emails. And so the question's been asked if our Chief of Police tried to cover that up, obstruct justice, and and that was a factor in Raina's death. And I highly suspect that Raina was murdered, and they missed that. And so that's the first comment. Here, the second comment was Erica is a private investigator who's been working for Clint Dunn, the father of Hailey. As you can see from her personal attacks against me, that something's very fishy. There's no way that she can be that stupid. I suspected that she's been intentionally trying to misspread information and mislead the investigation in the murder of this little girl for some reason. Besides the personal attacks against me, an attempt to discredit the dozen people that I've documented as saying that Hailey was killed in Odessa, I've watched Clint and Erica come up with far out and absurd theories. This video was from what I called the witchcraft tour, where they went around to the news stations and talked about a magic rug or something. I personally don't believe that Harry Potter had anything to do with the murder of this little girl. I'm joking about Harry Potter, of course. And but I want to show you here something real fishy is going on. This is an older video, and I got it ready to go. I'm going to let you listen to this one right here. It's right from the news.
Or get rid of it and don't tell anybody. I said, what book? He said, this is some kind of witchcraft book.
We turned our focus to the witchcraft book this weekend.
That's Erica.
The reason that this is coming out is because now we're starting to dig deeper into it.
Erica Morse is a private investigator working Hailey's case. And she said Clint Dunn is actively doing Facebook videos in hopes of catching his daughter's murderer. But in the meantime, they are also examining the book along with a rug found in the house where the little girl used to live with her mom, Billie Jean.
I want to know what the significance was of this purple pentagram rug. If there is a sacrifice involved or some type of demonic part involved in this.
Anyway, and now you can see why I call that the witchcraft tour. It went around to several news stations with with about this Pentagon rug or whatever, and it's just and then of course calling me crazy and trying to discredit more than a dozen people that are documented. I'm not going to do a full Hailey Dunn video and show you every piece of evidence because it takes too long. I have many of them already posted in videos, but here I just did short little paragraphs about some of the people I've documented. And here's that next one. I've documented around a dozen people saying that Hailey was killed in Odessa by recorded conversations or screenshots, which includes many details, including names, places, things she is wearing, places she was buried, and even an eyewitness that described Hailey's murder to me. On March 14, 2013, I wrote the Department of Justice and I suggested they come here to my house in Midland and look in the underground homes for clues for Hailey Dunn, and 2 days later her remains were found in Scurry County. She'd been missing for over 2 years and poof, they found her remains. Nobody came here. That's suspicious. But now you got a dozen people documented saying that she was killed over in Odessa. This is Midland here. Okay. Many people believe she was dug up and moved because of my email in 2013. Okay, so here, I've got dot points on here. Drug rehab counselor Christy Otts tells me that she got the confession to Hailey's murder from Brett Bushman in 2015. She said that Hailey was overdosed by some drug dealers before she was put in a box and buried on a ranch by Odessa. She also sent me an email that was sent to her boss where she said that Brett said he was involved in 3 homicides. That's the short story. I have videos on that too, showing the screenshots and all that. In 2012, News West 9 reported that Sonia Renee Callahan had written a letter saying that she witnessed Hailey's being overdosed at a home over in Odessa. She said it was over a family drug debt. In 2016, Sonia called me and I secretly recorded her describing the moment that Hailey died over the phone. It was convincing and chilling. There's a video on that called Child Killers. She names names. Same names keep coming up over and over and over again. And it's people in a gang over in Odessa. Okay, and her story didn't change in 4 years, and you can go online and Google News West 9, Sonia Renee Callahan, Hailey Dunn, you'll find that. Taryn Thomas wrote on my Facebook wall and said that her and 10 of her friends all knew that Hailey was at that home over in Odessa. She said they shaved her head like 2 weeks before she died. I've heard this head shaving story from several different people. And interestingly, a private investigator, Brenda Paradise, had told me that no hair was found on the remains, and which, supported the story that Taryn told me about her shaving her head. And once again, in Odessa. Woman named Brandy Dunn writes me on Facebook, got the screenshot, said that Hailey was killed at the home of Brooke Owensby, and who's the girlfriend of the now murdered Cody Mercer. That's an unsolved murder over there. She said those 2 murders were recorded and the cops have the recordings. I have the print screens of that. In Odessa, again, Jessica Hadley told me the story of the recorded murders was true, and it was disgusting. So Jessica had seen the recordings. Multiple people told me about these recordings, okay, of the murder of Hailey in Odessa, okay. Remember, now keep in mind, the private investigators discredited all of it by calling me crazy, okay. A Hailey Dunn blogger named Angelina Mitchell recorded Allison Frazier telling her that her baby daddy, Kevin Rickman, also known as Birdie, confessed in detail to kidnapping Hailey with his friends. She named them, taking her back to Odessa and then pimping her out before she was overdosed. She said that Hailey was buried in the backyard of Odessa police officer Jackie Thompson for a while, okay, who later went to prison on drug charges. Raina Brott told me that she believed Hailey was killed at her home on Cloudcroft Street. I think it's 6619 Cloudcroft, which was later caught on fire or burned to the ground. That's what I was told. I sent our recorded conversation to the Midland Chief of Police, but I didn't make that public until I found out she died, and that was only in the last couple of weeks. I recorded another still not named woman who told me that her friend was there at that home in Odessa when Hailey died, and he told her while crying with many details who did it, who was there, same names over and over and over again. This is another person. I provided that to law enforcement with the name of the person. I didn't make it public because these people are afraid, and rightfully so, And one thing that was interesting, she says it wasn't for $135 a meth, it was for $130. See, and it was the drug rehab counselor, Christy Ott, said Brett Bushman said it was $135 a month, and this woman corrected and said, no, it wasn't. No, you have that wrong. Corrected by $5. I have a neighbor that told me her aunt has an email where a younger woman here that has a boyfriend who was also at the home where Hailey died in Odessa. He's one of them gang members, okay? And I sent his picture to Allison, and she confirmed he was there, okay? And I found out that the parents of Curtis Lloyd, the guy who found the remains of Hailey Dunn 2 days after I wrote the Department of Justice in Scurry County, happened to live next door to a home on Dartmouth Street here in Midland where the owners had been reporting people in the attic. You know, that's a big deal because I'm ambushed and shot, burglar alarms going in my attic. Now I've documented homeowners all over the place reporting people in the attic. And it looks like this Curtis Lloyd, the guy that found Hailey's remains, he might have grown up next door to the home where people are reporting the attic. I wonder if there is a tunnel going from that home where Curtis Lloyd grew up to this home where the victim's home where people are being in the attic. I've suspected that Hailey was dug up and moved because of my email, and Curtis was chosen to find her remains in Scurry County. And this private investigator, Erica Morse, tried to discredit all of these witnesses by calling me crazy while looking for a Pentagon rug. You know, I'm like, this is ridiculous. So I'm not going to show you all of them, but I will show you just a little bit here on this one here. This is Allison talking. It's just super interesting.
Hailey was walking, I think she was walking to a friend's house. I'm not sure if it was down in Alley. Look, I have the full deal for Murdy. I have it for Murdy because he told me what happened. That's my baby daddy.
Right.
What happened? He was crying, telling me that he needed me to know. He needed me to know, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. He got down on his knees and he's crying, and he said that there was these people that owed him some money. And he had to take care of it. And I said, well, Bertie, what did you do? Hailey was still missing at the time. Her body hadn't been found yet. She wasn't dead yet. Okay? Oh my God. He dropped down on his knees and he was telling me that they had gotten Hailey for a drug deal, like I said. And what the mom and the boyfriend knew that was going to happen. And Bertie was like, I'll take care of her for a couple days, and I'll get my money back. And that's what he did. He was not this person when I knew him.
There's a lot more in this video. She also calls out the same names again, you know, that you hear the same people call out over and over and over. And I just wanted to, you know, show you that the huge amount of people that Erica Morse, the private investigator, is trying to discredit by calling me crazy, okay? Okay, the only thing that Erica can do to refute the huge amount of evidence is by calling me crazy, you know, question mark, question mark, question mark. It's well known that those lies about me don't work anymore. They were used to try to cover up the capital murder attempt on my life where I was shot by somebody under my home with burglar alarms going off in my attic. Now proof has been found showing that I wasn't shot with my gun, proof of many other homeowners reporting people in the attic, and proof of many people saying that tunnels and underground homes are here, with one of them being a recent candidate for sheriff. The crimes against me are crazy, but it's exceedingly clear that I'm not, so we should be asking, why is Erica doing this, okay? So I'll put a link here to it. And then there's a lot. You know, I could put a link to all them videos of the people in the attic and all that. Let's do this one here. I'm going to skip ahead. Try to get my sound going.
316 Geneva, caller stating that he heard someone in the attic.
610 Jeter. Complaint is going to be a 7-year-old male stating he can hear yelling and fighting. His mother's in the attic. He can hear her being assaulted.
Address on Springdale. He was reported that he heard voices in the attic.
Okay, there's just some of the addresses that I've documented people in Midland, Odessa reporting people in the attic, you know. And keep in mind, you know, that the whole thing about calling buddies great. Oh, we think people in his attic. Well, you know, I've documented homeowners all over the place reporting people in the attic. I saw a young Hispanic guy in my attic. It's 100% absolutely sure. There is no doubt. Proof that I wasn't shot with my gun and I was shot with burglar alarms going on in my attic. Multiple people documented saying tunnels and underground homes are here. One of them being a sheriff or candidate for sheriff, as I said. Okay, so then here's my next one. I saw a Facebook post a while back where Becca Blackman Miles said that Erica was a swinger and had already suspected, and I had already suspected that swingers were having parties in the underground homes here. So I wondered if that was the reason that she's doing this, trying to, spreading these life-destroying lies about me and, a crippled crime victim living under the threat of death, right? It's truly a low-life thing to do, is what it is. I just clicked on a news story from the Midland Reporter Telegram, okay, and this was posted in 2010. Midland Swingers Convention gets canceled. This happened right around the same time, just right before the 2010 Oil Show party where the young girl was said to be murdered. My friend Angie was there, believed to be murdered in the underground homes, okay, at the Oil Show party. Anyways, this one little part of this article, y'all can look this one up. And it says the reason we picked Midland is because there's a huge lifestyle community in West Texas, Long said. He would not say how many people were expected at the convention that it got canceled, right? Okay. He noted there are lifestyle conventions nationwide and the events attract people of all ages. Now keep on that, they said all ages, and I'm sure he was including kindergarten, ages. That's kind of how I took it, and I'm sure that's probably how y'all took it too. Okay, and here's one I want to show you. Okay, this is the message that I saw on Facebook one day from Becca Blackman Miles. Okay, and here, and the reason I took a screenshot of it because of Erica Morse, right? That's the person that attacked me. Okay, this has nothing to do with me, but it says Becca is saying on her Facebook post, Erica Morse, your cheese has slid right off your cracker and you need to shut your lying ass mouth because I'm dealing with real things in my life and I don't have time for your compulsive, liar, antisocial, personality, mess smoking, swinger club attending, attention seeking, billy goat smelling ass. Now, I can't confirm if her ass smelled like a billy goat or if she's a meth user or a swinger, but all I can confirm, Becca Blackman Miles posted that on Facebook because I'm showing you that, and so Buddy didn't say anything. Buddy just says Becca posted that, and and once again I suspected that swingers might have been using the underground homes here, and that might be a major factor here. Okay, so I'm going to go on to my next one. I suspected that Hailey Dunn, or Hailey's mom, Billy Dunn, may have been at the underground oil show parties in 2010 where my friend Angie was at and the other young girl that was murdered there, okay? And the remains of a young girl were found outside of Midland in 2013. I believe that's the girl, okay? I found out that Billy was a stripper at the time, and it makes sense that all of the other strippers were working at the parties during the oil show. Okay, I mean, that just makes sense. I've noticed that Billy being a stripper around the time Hailey went missing has been kept a secret for some odd reason. You'd think that would be a big clue, of the people she'd hang around at. Maybe gang members are up there at the strip clubs, right? One woman told me that Billy had been taking Hailey to the strip club with her, so maybe she also took her to the oil show parties. That's a 13-year-old child she's taking to the strip club. Another guy told me that Clint, the dad, was pimping out Hailey to his oil field friends for $500 each. He was specific about the amount. Maybe he didn't say $450, right? Maybe this was going on in the underground oil show parties. That happened just 2 months before she was reported missing. Once again, Buddy didn't say, that Billy is a stripper. Buddy says, I got multiple people saying Billy was stripping, right? I'm convinced that's true. Janice Freeman Driver says, now, Buddy, I heard that Billy was from a reliable source and that Hailey was going with her as well, but staying in the dressing room while Billy Dunn, worked the stripper pole. Okay. And then this woman, Stacy, that was the Hope for Hailey Dunn admin, she actually is a friend of Billy and she gets mad and she's defending Billy. Keep in mind, while she was stripping, it was a third job because Clinton didn't work. She's also a nurse and doing secretarial work besides stripping. So I feel real convinced Billy Dunn was a stripper while, at the time, and she was taking Hailey to the strip club with her. A 13-year-old, if she's taking her to the strip club, maybe she took her to the underground oil show parties because my friend Angie was ordered to work, as were a lot of other people, like the little girl that didn't want to prostitute and was murdered because she didn't want to prostitute. do. They didn't get a choice. I ain't trying to point fingers at Billy for stripping or being ordered to work at the oil show parties when you got, people pointing a gun at you saying you're going to do this or you're going to die, because that's what sex traffickers do. And then also, like, a lot of people know Angie was afraid to report that murder, said high-level police were at the party. And that ain't the high-level good police, I suspect they were the secret police that were caught on camera coming up with the murder attempt on my life, And then here's this guy, Michael Morales. He says, I was told that she was pimped out to her father's oilfield friends. I was told that the father would get up to $500. Okay, once again, that was real specific. He didn't say it was $400. He didn't say it was $300. He said it was $500, And oilfield friends, I'm thinking, I wonder if that happened at the, I clicked on the wrong place. I wondered if that happened at the underground oil show parties, I'm going back quick as I can. There we go. Okay. Now, next one. Now, now Clint, the dad, Billy, the mom, Hailey, and Erica, the private investigator, were at the underground oil show parties. Now, why would Erica maybe be there? Maybe because she's a stripper and they're having stripper, sex parties underground? I don't know. I'm just asking questions, right? We're trying to solve the murder of a little kid and figure out why this private investigator is attacking me with lies. Then I can see why they wouldn't want anybody to find that out, which may explain the baseless and cruel attacks against me. Okay. And so here's some talking about the underground homes here, and I've showed these on Facebook or on YouTube many times, and I suspect the people at the oil show parties or the sex parties, underground sex parties that were parked in the Home Depot parking lot, okay, with the excuse of if you see a lot of cars in the parking lot late at night, it's because we're stalking. And I think they were probably going inside the store somewhere, and they were coming back towards my home. Is right there. You could see where a tunnel was cut. The asphalt's a different color right there, where I'm pointing that arrow at right here. And then coming right here, my house is right there. Okay, in my backyard, it looks like an underground home is there. I was told there was 4 3-bedroom homes, 25 foot deep, each cost $1 million apiece. And I suspected maybe another one's over here in this empty lot because I was told by Rhonda Denman Rogers that it was a half block away. Well, that's a half block away. And there's some other reasons I'm going to show you here in a minute. So I'm wondering, okay, well, maybe the underground swinger parties and the oil show parties, the sex parties, that's where it's going on. Okay. This is a close-up to show you where the ground was cut. That's what I was talking about. We pull up, it goes directly to my house. See? That's what I'm saying. It goes to my house. And then here in the backyard, it looked like there's one of the underground facilities. Here's another screenshot. Ricky Ronaldo said he used to live in my house. Him and his brother would go in the tunnels under it when they lived here, right? Took another screenshot. Not Buddy said, Ricky said. I got proof, right? Ricky told me that. Here, this woman told me, go to Google Maps, maps.google.com, look up your address, 3802 Fair Circle, Midland, Texas, and see what you see, And what I see is here on the block screen in my backyard is this large bunker, facility building, okay? And you switch over to the satellite view from above ground, it's not there. You switch back to the block view, there it is, okay? So there's I think that's one of the 4 3-bedroom underground homes that I was told about on a recorded phone call, and that's what I've got dot points here. A woman told me about these underground homes, recorded phone call. Rhonda Denman Rogers said underground facilities half block away. Layla O'Brien said she worked on this project. It was called Safe House Project that was finished in 1987, cost $7.35 million. That was their budget for it. She was a CAD programmer. She believed the Bushes were involved in the Safe House Project. At the time, the Bushes were from Midland, and George H.W. Bush, the older one, was the vice president of the United States. So you can see why they might, in his hometown, put safe houses underground. So maybe that's where these 4 $1 million underground homes was put in, 30 years ago, however long it was. And then Sheriff candidate Joe Lozano earlier this year told me that the underground homes was the hideout for Sheriff Painter, who died last year. And remember, Angie was afraid to report the murder of that little girl and said high-level police were there. And I wondered if if one of them high-level police wasn't Sheriff Painter, okay? Because of what Joe Lozano told me. And this here is a half block away around the corner from my house, okay? There's that empty lot we looked at. And what I'm pointing out is there's a water well there. Well, there's a water well. My neighbor has a water well right next to my fence where it's believed that underground home is my backyard. Here's a screenshot of Rhonda Denman Rogers saying, that it's a half block away. Underground facilities, my half block away. And I'm making a point that this home here on Westmont Court, and there's the address, 3900 Westmont, it had the same mortar problem my home had, which is believed to be from digging under the home, okay? So it had a water well just like mine, had the same mortar problem. Here's a lot would be perfect. It's a half block away. I'm thinking maybe one of them other 4 underground homes is there. Maybe these wholesale parties were going on here too, I think that's owned by Concho. That's a big oil company here, a safety man, And so, all these things law enforcement can investigate. Last year, a podcast was made by Hailey's dad and Clint and Erica, who said that, and yeah, there was just a lot of deviancy. There was definitely a lot of drug abuse going on under that house, under that roof. I made a video about this called Freudian Slip and wondered if she was talking about the underground parties here under my home, okay? And I'm going to let you listen to Erica say that here. And Freudian Slip, here we go. This.
Yeah, there was just a lot of deviancy. There was definitely some drug abuse going on under the house, or under that roof.
Hear it?
Did you hear that?
Under the house. Let's hear it again.
Yeah, there was just a lot of deviancy. There was definitely some drug abuse going on under the house, or under that roof.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying, right? That's why I made that. Okay. And then I'm going to finally finish this up here. I said this woman that I secretly recorded telling me that there were 4 3-bedroom underground homes and said they were having pedophile parties down there. That fits in with this theory of swingers, kindergarten-age children, East Texas swingers knowing the West Texas swingers, Midland having a huge a swinger population, Becca Miles saying that Erica is a swinger, and Erica trying to discredit me with them old lies. Here. Sorry about that. I'm trying to click the right thing. Do it again. I'm working. Play.
I asked them about the pizza parties. They said they're not called pizza parties, but I know what you're talking about.
Right, the pedophile parties.
Yes.
And then and see, a couple of weeks, you probably read all this before, but a couple of weeks after I got out of the hospital, that ex-wife comes by my home and she says, "You don't know how many lives you ruined with your idiocy." And of course, my idiocy was staying home and minding my own business. I'm shot inside my home. And but what she was saying was a lot of people were here and they're going to have their lives ruined. And
do you know how many feet that gun pushed through? The ground it was, because he said that these houses are 25 feet under, at least 25 exactly.
And so that's the last one I got. As normal, I'm not making accusations. I'm stating facts, asking questions, and what's really important here is that we remember that. There's a little girl here that was found murdered, and her killers have not been arrested, right? And it's the remains of another young girl were found outside Midland 2013. That's a second young girl. I'm guessing that Billy and Clint and Hailey might have been there at the same party that Angie was with, and that other girl. Raina Brought dies. She's scared for her life, and it's just the first homeowner of my house, 27, he's dead. They tried to kill me. We've got, we need some real law enforcement taking a real look at this and following these leads up. Y'all